Imagine someone followed you every single day. They criticized your appearance. They reminded you of every embarrassing mistake. They compared you to everyone around you. Eventually, you'd probably hate that person. But what if that person wasn't someone else? What if it was your own brain? Most people believe their brain wants them to be happy. It doesn't. Its first job has always been survival. And survival often sounds a lot like fear. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors survived because they noticed danger first. One hidden predator could end everything. So the brain became incredibly good at spotting problems. The problem is, your brain still behaves that way today. Scientists call this the negativity bias. Your brain naturally remembers criticism longer than compliments. One insult can stay with you for years. 10 compliments can disappear in minutes. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to prevent future pain. Unfortunately, it often ends up creating pain instead. Every thought you repeat creates a stronger pathway inside your brain. Think something often enough, and your brain slowly stops asking, "Is this true?" Instead, it begins asking, "Is this familiar?" Imagine you're about to send a message. You type it, read it again, then delete it because a voice whispers, "You'll sound stupid." That voice didn't appear today. It was built, one repeated thought at a time. Here's something surprising. Your brain doesn't automatically choose what's true. It often chooses what's familiar, even when that familiarity hurts you. That's why someone who's heard "you're not good enough" for years may feel uncomfortable hearing "you're doing well." Not because the compliment is false, because it's unfamiliar. Think about today. How many times did your brain say, "Don't try, don't speak, don't post that, people will judge you"? Most of us never question those thoughts. We simply obey them. Now compare these two sentences. "I am a failure. I failed today." One becomes your identity. The other describes a single moment. Your brain reacts very differently to those two stories. One builds a prison, the other leaves the door unlocked. So, what if the voice inside your head isn't telling the truth? What if it's simply repeating an old survival pattern that no longer protects you? Maybe you were never the problem. Maybe you inherited a story your brain never stopped repeating. But where did that story begin? And why does it still control you, even today? Let's find out. What if I told you your favorite memory isn't exactly what happened? Neither is your worst one. Your brain doesn't store memories like a video recording. Instead, every time you remember something, it rebuilds that memory, almost like opening a document, making tiny edits and saving it again. Most of the changes are so small, you never notice them. Until one day, the memory feels completely real. Maybe it was forgetting your words during a presentation, sending an embarrassing message, calling someone by the wrong name. At first, it was only a small moment, but every time you replayed it, your brain quietly added more emotion until it felt much bigger than it ever was. That's how people slowly begin believing. I've always been awkward. Not because it's true, because your brain keeps replaying the same evidence while quietly ignoring everything that doesn't fit the story. It's almost like your brain hired a lawyer whose only job is proving that old belief is correct. Psychologists call this confirmation bias. Once your brain believes something, it starts collecting evidence to prove itself right. Imagine wearing glasses that only let you notice your mistakes. After a while, you'd forget those glasses were even there. Your inner critic probably wasn't born with you. Maybe it sounded like a parent trying to protect you. Maybe a teacher who never realized their words would stay. Maybe someone who forgot what they said long after your brain remembered. Eventually, their voice became your own. Here's the good news. Your brain creates thousands of thoughts. Most disappear within seconds. The important question isn't, did this thought appear? It's, do I have to believe it? Because a thought is not a fact. It's simply a mental event. Think about your last job interview, or the last time you had to speak in front of people. Maybe nothing had happened yet, but your heart was already racing because your brain responds not only to reality,
I love solving complex
but also
problems.
to vivid imagination. Imagine rehearsing failure every single day. Your brain becomes better at expecting it. Now imagine rehearsing calm, confidence, solutions. That's why many athletes mentally practice success before they ever compete. Your brain learns from repetition. If your brain learns self-doubt through repetition, what happens when you repeat something healthier again and again and again? It learns that too, because your brain was never designed to stay the same. It was designed to adapt, to learn, to rewire itself. But there's one habit that quietly strengthens self-doubt. Almost every single day. Nearly everyone does it. Most people never notice. It doesn't begin in the mirror. It begins the moment you start measuring your life against someone else's. Comparison has always been part of being human, but your brain was never designed to compare itself with hundreds of carefully edited lives before breakfast. Every photo, every celebration, every success. Your brain quietly asks, why doesn't my life look like that? But it forgets one important thing. You're comparing your ordinary Tuesday to someone else's highlight. Here's the trap. Imagine watching a play where you only see the actors after they finished rehearsing. You never see the mistakes, the fear, the failures. Yet somehow, your brain compares their finished performance to your practice. That's not comparison. That's an impossible standard. So, how do you interrupt the cycle? Not by fighting every thought, not by pretending everything is perfect. Instead, be curious. The next time your mind whispers, I'm not good enough, pause. Ask yourself, what evidence supports this? Then ask, what evidence challenges it? And finally, ask one more question. If someone I loved believed this about themselves, what would I say to them? Sometimes, we offer strangers more kindness than we offer ourselves. Here's another trick. Stop saying, I am a failure. Instead say, I experienced a failure. One sentence describes your identity. The other describes an event. Your brain processes those very differently. Real change doesn't begin with confidence. It begins with tiny promises. One healthy meal, one short walk, one difficult conversation, one page read. Every promise you keep teaches your brain something powerful. I can trust myself. Your brain changes through repetition. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. Every time you practice a healthier pattern, those connections become a little stronger. Not overnight, not instantly, but consistently, just like learning a new language or riding a bicycle. Maybe you don't hate yourself. Maybe you've simply listened to the same frightened voice for too many years. A voice that believed criticism would keep you safe. But today, you know something different. Safety doesn't have to sound like self-hatred. The greatest lie your brain ever told you was that every thought deserved to be believed. Thoughts are not facts. Feelings are not proof. And your identity is not defined by your worst moment. Your brain learned these patterns, which means it can learn new ones. So the next time your mind whispers, "You're not enough," don't answer with another insult. Answer with curiosity. Because every time you question an old belief, you give your brain a chance to build a better one. Maybe the person you've been fighting was never really you. Maybe it was simply a brain doing its best with old instructions. And the beautiful thing about instructions is that they can be rewritten, starting today. If this video changed the way you think about your own mind, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, understanding your brain is the first step to taking back control. I'll see you in the next Mind Heist.